What's up, guys? It's finally here. Our baby is finally done from manning. But what I wanted to show everybody was, now you can't compare this apples to apples exactly because that one's got a little tweak to it. This one's a whole nother level. But our old trailer was a bolt together. Our new trailer, now it's a fully welded trailer. And what I wanted to show was some of the differences, and then we'll get into what we ordered maybe, and then kind of why. So the old trailer, if you look, it's an aluminum I-beam. Our new trailer is a C-channel. On these I-beam trailers, you can normally get those for probably somewhere around 2/3 the cost of a new welded aluminum trailer. And I know some people that had a boat the general size of ours that got one, and it was, like I said, about 60% of what we paid for ours, but we did get ours optioned pretty well. On these I-beam trailers, when I say bolt together, all the cross members, they'll have one U-bolt on the inside and then 2 bolts through the outside, and it makes it for probably a faster assembly. They can adjust all the cross members for the length of the trailer, and it's pretty fast. It's a pretty fast process that way. It's just a matter of drilling holes. But also, you'll notice the bunks. These are what I had to redo last year. These are adjustable back and forth, and you can also adjust them up and down. Now, on a welded trailer like this other one, these are all welded in place, and then your bunks are screwed right down to the top. So it has to be set pretty well from the factory when they make it. Otherwise you're cutting and re-welding, and that's a lot of extra work. So hopefully they've got it spot on, because I don't have to go through all that. So both trailers are set up with electric over hydraulic, so that's kind of an apples to apples. Once you've got one that's been that way, it's really hard to go back to a surge brake trailer. Even though a surge brake trailer you can pull with anything, it'll have some sort of brakes. Both of them have the RV plugs, so that's kind of a moot point. But let's go back here to the back, and we'll get into kind of the bunk situation. Now these are what I call a float-on bunk. You really need to have these kind of deep in the water. Helps just pull the boat into it. But you have to have them set just right. It won't self-center. It's pretty, I found it to be a pretty big pain. Also, if you look, all of these, the way they're set up and the way I replaced them, they tend to bend. Now a lot of the trailers I've seen, they've had this here will be all the way flat against here, and these are just to keep it upright. But in our case, if that's down low, our boat will actually touch on the cross members, and then that's kind of a disaster. So the old trailer was a spring axle trailer. Had a lot of bounce to it. The springs, you know, they really wear bad. After 5 or 6 years, you probably need to look at maybe even replacing spring packs, especially if you pull a lot of miles. The new trailer is a torsion axle trailer. I really like the way a torsion axle trailer pulls. Another benefit to that is if you ever lose a tire or a wheel, or a wheel bearing I should say, and you do not have a spare or a spare hub, you can pull that tire off and you don't have to strap that axle up. It will basically stay right where it is. So that's also a big benefit of a torsion axle. I don't know if you can see the difference of these axles as far as the beam goes on the new trailer, and then on the old trailer. The old trailer were 5,200 pound axles. They were 6 lug wheels. Of course, the new one were 8 lug wheels. Your bolt together trailer will have a little more flex in it. This trailer I think was a little underrated for our 382. That's why we went to a welded aluminum. It kind of stiffens it up. You can also get, a friend of ours has one. He bought, it's the C-channel frame, but it actually uses the same bolt together cross members like this one has. So it gives it a little twist, or a little flex, I should say, I guess. But it does stiffen it up quite a bit. He says it's a super stiff trailer, and I don't doubt that one bit. This one's an older trailer. I think it's an 08, so I'm sure the bolts were loosened up a little bit, which probably caused some of the flex. And then of course being a little undersized didn't help it any either. All right, so I think as far as kind of an apples to apples, if you are not pulling it a whole lot, or you don't have to load and unload very often, I think a bolt together trailer is fine. Especially it saves you thousands of dollars, probably in the $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 compared to a welded aluminum trailer. So that's a big point. But since we had the money left over from the insurance payout on our boat, we ordered the trailer that we wanted. It's kind of decked out. The only real options I didn't get were an electric jack and an electric winch. We've never really had any issues. I'm still a young guy, so I don't mind jacking up the trailer, and normally that's Shane's job anyway. So, but let's go through this trailer. We'll show you everything we had done to it. This is a welded aluminum trailer from Manning. We had it done with LED lights. One thing I do like about Manning on their aluminum trailers, aluminum fenders are welded into the frame and the step, so everything's pretty solid. I don't think it's going anywhere. We upgraded to 7,000 pound torsion axles, which are galvanized. It comes with all stainless brakes, and it also gives you 8 lug wheels. So not only do we have 8 lug wheels, we also went to 14 ply tires. Which are way overkill. So now this boat trailer is basically rated at 21,000 pounds. And then the tires will do 4,400 pounds a piece. So it is way overkill, but once you get a heavy boat on a trailer and you're making tight turns in a marina or in your driveway or anything like that, they really put a twist on them. So it's nice to have that extra weight, and they're not taxed as hard either. Also, we got a matching spare, which is on a loaded hub, and because of that, it also has the rotor in behind it, which I hope you can see. So now, if you need just a tire, you can put a tire on it. If you, for whatever reason, have a hub go bad, you can actually swap the whole 9 yards over. 2-speed jack, breakaway box, and don't do like I did. I pulled in the driveway last night after picking it up, and the bumper on our utility truck smashed my brand new battery. So now I gotta find a brand new battery. But electric over hydraulic, like I said, if you've ever pulled anything with electric over hydraulic, you'll never go back to a surge. On this trailer, it's tucked down inside the frame rail, which is nice because on our old trailer, when the boat came off in the accident, it actually ripped the hydraulic unit off of our other trailer. So that didn't help us any as far as stopping either. We went with the V-block stops. I do not like the rollers. They mark up our boat pretty bad. The previous boat, it actually started to wear into the gel because it wouldn't roll at all. Although sometimes you'll see some people put the little terry cloth covers over these, a lot of like the buffer covers. You can actually put these on here or make some, and that keeps these from marking up the boat real bad too. We'll have to wait and see how bad it is. What else have we got? Like I said, we did LED running lights all the way around. Also, tie downs in the back. We got a reverse light, full LEDs. And I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna put up a little video while we had it at night. We have underhull lights, and since we sometimes tend to come out of the river and it's in a little creekway. Maybe this year I'll try to show you guys that. But it can be pretty dark and the water's kind of muddy and you can't really see the trailer. So this will help Shane kind of line it up when we're back there in the creek. But overall, I think I'm pretty happy with the way the trailer turned out. I wish it wouldn't have taken as long as it did. One thing is I have noticed, and I don't know if there'll be a problem or not, on the bunks, since these are fully welded all the way down and all the way through, they've used self-tapping bolts through the bunks into here. I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. I hope it's not. And they all seem to be far enough in that I don't think they'll cause any problem with the gel. What else? They didn't have the wheels I wanted. They had the style, but they didn't have them in the 8-spoke pattern. I went through 4 different styles of wheels, and apparently none of the ones I wanted were there, which is my luck. Good old the Rona. But I don't know, it pulls good. It's a torsion axle and even empty. I had no extreme bounce driving the roads of Michigan and Indiana on the way home. Tracked good. We'll have to, I do think it's narrower. I need to actually put a tape measure on it, but I do think it's narrower. But we're gonna have to stick the boat on it and get everything adjusted the way we want, and we're gonna see how this dude pulls. Also, we went with, I guess on all the trailers nowadays on this size, they've gone to an adjustable foot jack instead of having the wheel like this one over here. I didn't like that at all, especially because we had to stick it on a 6x6 block to even get up to our truck, and it made it really awkward once you put on that block and you get to rolling around inside the boat. We've had a couple of cases where it almost came off. We also have a bow ladder. That was one of the options we really wanted, although where it bolts on at the C-channel level, I really wish it had a whole nother rung, but we left it off until we get the boat on there, and then we can adjust it back and forth to get it exactly where we want. You don't want it too close, because when you come into some of the ramps with the boat trying to load it, I don't want it to ding the front of the boat, because we're already getting a bunch of gel coat work done, and that'd be a whole nother list of stuff to do. So, but we'll see how this works. Worst case scenario, we can always add something onto the top. It really makes it handy loading the boat when it's in the garage, getting on the trailer or off the trailer when we're getting ready at the ramp. That way you're not climbing off the ladder at the very back, which is super awkward because it's got the crappy formula ladder on it. So, just another one of those things. It's just money. But there it is. So far, I'm pretty pleased with the Manning trailer, but we don't have the boat on it and we haven't pulled it with any weight on it. So maybe after the first time or two, we'll go back over this and see if I'm still as ecstatic over it as I was today. Hopefully it was worth the price. We'll see you guys next time.